Imagine knowing exactly where weeds are going to strike, giving growers the power to act first, hit hard, and shrink the seed bank before those patches even appear. That's the aim of a GRDC project which brings together a multidisciplinary team from around Australia and across the globe as part of the Grain Automate initiative.
Underneath a weed burden, there is an underlying seed bank, and that's because not all weeds will germinate in 1 year. So we understand the dormancy, we understand that the way they germinate at what times of the year they germinate. So incorporating this understanding of where the weeds are and the dynamics of that underlying seed bank, we're hoping to actually predict when and where these weeds are going to turn up next year.
Ultimately, it's all about return on investment for growers for the investment they put into managing weeds on their farm, and that includes for more sustainable outcomes. So in that way, using and understanding where the weed patches might occur, they can really target in and be more efficient with their weed control measures.
Our farm is currently about 6,500 hectares, and we crop wheat, barley, canola, field peas and export hay. This is my 25th year farming, and the weed issue's been evolving since the start of that. Our main weed, I'd say, would be ryegrass. We've seen ryegrass adapt to everything we sort of throw at it. We've tried most of the things in the toolbox, and it's still there, and it's still an issue. Our most profitable crop is probably wheat or canola, and if the ryegrass is an issue, we have to rotate out of that, so it can be a very costly issue.
Currently, we put down basal weed control options, and then we react to where that fails. And often that reaction is, well, unfortunately it sets seed and it reinforces that seed bank in the following year. What we want to do is do site-specific weed management, applying the appropriate weed control options to the appropriate zones to ensure that nothing sets seed, driving a seed bank into decline.
Normally when we're managing our herbicide budget, we set a figure per hectare, and then we'll try and allocate that around the farm. So the more challenging blocks or farms will get a higher herbicide package, but we still try and keep that under a set figure. If we can map the areas, or we know where the areas of weeds are and we know where they're going to germinate, then we can use various methods, or more methods than we currently do, and stay under that budget that I talked about, because we can target a specific area in the paddock. So yeah, I see it's an enormous area for growth. It should be really beneficial for our farm, both for the bottom line and also to reduce our herbicide costs for the environment.
What started as a project looking to map weed seed banks has expanded into something larger, bringing together weed science expertise from the University of Western Australia, industry expertise, drone imaging technology, and geospatial analytics.
More and more GRDC's putting together these cross-disciplinary or hybrid teams where we bring the best of the best from the science world and the universities together with those from the commercial sector who really understand how growers need to receive different products, and again, how to efficiently and effectively build them in a way that's useful for growers. University of WA bring the real science aspect to this project, in particular their understanding of weed ecology and integrated weed management, alongside the analytical science that needs to happen in this project. Bayer, obviously from a commercial sense, understand weed control really well and bring that commercial acumen to the project in terms of how to build products that growers can really use on their farm. We're also partnering up with a company called Geco, a Canadian startup who really understand the smarts behind building weed maps that growers can use to pinpoint their weed control. And then finally, we've got another partnership with InFarm, who really are specialists in drone technology and building weed maps that help support the project.
I think this technology is going to be very, very important because growers are predominantly focused on logistics now. So being able to take the role out of the grower's hand to manage these patches and automate that into a machine allows growers to manage weeds on a site-specific manner while still maintaining the operational efficiencies that they've always been looking for. We can change our seeding rate, we can change our crop nutrition over those zones to maximise the competitiveness of the crop. We can change our pre-emergent herbicide package over that area, But then later on in the season, we can even fallow out areas that are not controlled, or even change our harvest cutting height on our headers for harvest weed seed control interception.
We have variable rate on all of our machines, so having an area mapped or having the data where we can change our practice would be quite a simple step for us. I can see us maybe tilling that area or changing our integrated weed management practice on just that area.
There's a lot of complex science and analytics and a lot of data that needs to be collected yet, but we're well on the way to producing tools that growers will be able to use.